views and opinions expressed on this show do not reflect that of the staff and management of WNOV and W293 CX 106.5 FM Courier Communications Milwaukee, but are the sole comments of the host and guest of this particular show.
The views and opinions expressed in this program do not reflect those of Wisconsin Voices. The views and opinions expressed by hosts and guests are their own, and their appearance on the program do not imply any endorsement or representation by Wisconsin Voices. Thank you for listening to Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Be a voice.
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 Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org
And learn more on how to be a voice with Wisconsin Voices. What that got to do with it?
Because that's a setup for, I want you to really talk about mine, so I'm actually about yours first because I'd like to get off.
Oh, no.
So, how was your day?
No, we were all busy this week. Ryan was busy. Latoya was definitely busy. She was out there doing Get Out the Vote. Woo, woo, woo.
Mhm.
It was cold out there, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah. Oh,
They had y'all outside the whole time?
yeah, the whole time.
Our co-executive director, Tim Schindler, was out there with you guys, and he was like, well, it was kind of cold, but we stuck it out, and we had to go back.
That son was the savior.
Yeah. We had a good conversation about having your colon cancer checked. So, hey.
Yeah. They just said that in the young adults that collateral colon or colon, I can't think of the medical term, but they said that for young adults, it's the highest that they've seen. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, man, we need to continuously focus on, that colon cancer, especially I've seen it even closely in my family with, in the silent generation not getting their self-check. So make sure we go in and get checked out there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to continue our series, but we have a couple of guests. We have an amazing woman who does a lot of work across the country with Black Votes Matter. She is the national field co-director. Her name is Althea Bonello. And we're going to be interviewing her in 1 second. So let's get her on the line.
She's there. Caroline?
Good morning.
Morning.
Did you just call her Carolyn?
Caroline? Y'all saw the movie.
Oh, Lord. Miss Bonello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sis?
Well, we have asked her to come on because this is one of our national partners that we work with, but we really need to do some, so we would like you to introduce yourself, tell us a little about your organization, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty.
Sure. So again, my name is Alethea Bonello. I work with Black Voters Matter, an organization that's based in Atlanta, but we have a footprint in 25 states now. We're a young organization. Many folks heard about us during the 2020 elections here in Georgia, but we are doing some amazing work all across the states in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina, and across the South, Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, Florida, Georgia. So we are an organization that's Black-led, and we believe that we need to support folks on the ground. We do 365 work, whether it's urban or rural spaces that build power in the community to move change, whatever that is for what the people need in that moment. And right now, we need a change in these electoral spaces and these voting places that are listening to the needs of our people to be able to make it better in their lives.
Now you just, you can close your Bible now because you just preached the gospel on this. We have partnered with you because we're really trying to make sure that Black voters do matter. We are partnering with the Get Out the Vote right now, between now and the election day, and even through the fall. And can you tell them the importance of just Black voices? Because our show is called Be a Voice, but
Mhm.
we're trying to emphasize all through the year, your voice matters. You have to, it's not just one vote, but collectively our voice matters.
Most definitely. And again, you preaching to the choir right now. Black voters matter because we are the soul and the conscience of America. In Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, when Black voices are heard, when our ballots are counted, and we are able to bring in those public servants who are willing to listen to the needs of the people, not only does it help Black voters, it helps all voters. Because as we say, a rising tide lifts all boats. And so when people listen to the needs of Black voters, those needs are those that are needed in American lives. We want to be able to see livable wages so that people can live and be able to enjoy their lives after work. We want access to good education so our children will be able to be productive members of society. We want access to health care for all people and not have women's bodies relegated by government, but that they would be able to make private choices between themselves and their doctors. We want to be able to amplify choice in society and be responsible for the choices that are being made, not dictated by the government, but that people have the right to not only voice their concerns, but to vote democratically and openly for those concerns that they have. And so, yes, Black voters matter, and the voice and their vote matter right now in this country as we fight for the soul of democracy, the right to be able to say one person, one vote, and it means something that we can alleviate these barriers to the voting ballot in and of itself, and that people feel that they do have power and agency and are able to use it, not only just on election day, but every single day, that they can unapologetically show up as they are and speak their truth and it be heard and action can be taken because they were able to voice their opinion.
Oh, you know how to put that into words. You just did an amazing job on we over the course of the last couple of months, we've been emphasizing voting and knowing who's on the ballot and what is on the ballot and how does it affect you and what do each of the electeds do? What are they supposed to do for a job? If you have a question, 414-444-5250. We're taking calls. One of the, I know we worked with you a little bit last year with the votercade and some of the other infrastructure stuff that you do. What else do you do across the country to try to get out the vote?
Yes, you just referenced that we take the blackest bus in America
Oh, the bus is
out the
great.
state
Yes.
to the Black Voters Matter bus in various bus tours. We just had a bus tour at Virginia State University, educating our students, our college students, about why their vote matters. We are in the midst of getting ready for our Medicaid expansion bus tour that will take the bus to different states that currently have not accepted Medicaid expansion from the federal government.
Oh, you'll be
and
here
showing
then.
why that's important.
So you're coming here.
We're not able to come to Wisconsin right now, but we are planning a bus tour for Wisconsin. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Oh, that's great.
As you mentioned, Tanika, we have what are called partner calls. We don't dictate what the agenda is. We want to amplify and support what our partners are doing on the ground. So if you tell us, hey, there's an issue going on, we want to be able to support that, whether it's the bus, whether it's through our texting campaigns, if we're going to have a texting blitz to remind people to go out to vote on next Tuesday, April 2nd, for the spring general election, whether it's our phone banking and canvassing tools that we provide to our partners, but we also have what are called policy corners. There's one coming up on April 3rd, next Wednesday, that will discuss the attacks on DEI as it relates to college campuses and what diversity looks like on our college campuses now. So we talk about the issues that are affecting our people, and through whether it's social media, whether it's going to have local events, talking about what the issues are, or contacting people virtually, we want to make sure that people understand what is going on and how they can be a part of it.
And I'm just, you guys put so much effort into making sure that the Black voice is heard. We do have a caller. Let's see what the caller has to say. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, good morning to you guys. Good afternoon to the lady down in Atlanta. I think she's in Atlanta. Is she in Atlanta?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I have a question to ask her. Now, this the program that she has, that she's operating under or operating out of, is that a 501c3, a nonprofit, or is that what program?
Yes, that is a 501c3.
Okay, so they're not able to actually endorse anybody. So you just kind of get out and just push the narrative of getting out to vote. Is that correct?
I'll let her answer that.
Yes, that's correct. So under our banner, we don't tell people who to vote for necessarily. We want to educate people that voters know who, based on their issues, based on their what they believe in, who they should vote for. So we educate and we engage voters to go out and make their choice in the ballot box, because that's a sacred and personal right as to who you vote for.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But when we talk about the Black vote being powerful, on and it is a defining factor in this country. As a matter of fact, the Black voters, the Black man really in this country holds the number 2 position to our counterparts, which would be white folk. We hold the number 2 position when it comes down to politics, and there's other groups that are rushing fast to eliminate us from that number 2 position. And it seems like we don't have our eyes open enough to see what's happening. So when you say you can vote for whoever you want to, is it more of a liberal leaning deal, or a conservative leaning ideology that you push the listeners to, the people that come to these meetings? Because if you're a Black voter in America, whether if I'm voting for a Black mayor that's a conservative Black mayor, or a Black mayor that's a Democrat Black mayor, would we as a people applaud any of the progress that's being made, whether it's on either side?
And it's true. We as a 501c3 and I think I can speak for Black Votes Matter when it comes to this. We want to push the narrative that this is a right of yours to do. Research. We will give you information. We try to talk about the issues that matter to our community and get that information out there.
I heard her talk about wages being raised, and we started the higher rate with inflation rising like crazy. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So with the wages being raised and inflation steady climbing, where does the cap come? Because we see McDonald's, we see Walmart, we see Home Depot. All of these people are eliminating jobs that normal people, actually was a livelihood for them. I mean, it wasn't a great livelihood. It might have brought me right up to the budget of, right up to the brink of, right up to the brink of poverty, or even below poverty. In some cases, above poverty. But what did you do? And I'm sorry, I gotta get off the phone. I got a call that's coming in that's bothering me. Anyway, what do you do when you hire these people and then all of a sudden there's no jobs for nobody because of the inflation rate and the high increase in trying to pay people? What do you?
Well, I'm not quite sure his question. I'm not quite sure of the question he asked, but I'm a little confused on the question, and I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to clarify his question. But Alethea, I think your organization looks at issues that impact the Black community and try to educate people on the issues that affect us the most.
Of course, in general, but with our partners, if there is a particular issue going on, whether it's high utility rates, whether it's advancing what's happening within the state legislature, we talk with our partners, identify what the particular problem is, who the decision makers are, to create tactics in which we can influence the decision maker. Because we believe that advocacy is defined as applying pressure to the decision making process. So if a problem is identified, we take the time to build capacity to talk about what steps can alleviate the problem itself. So even outside of voting and the electoral process, we believe in 365 work, that there are always issues going on, and we want to support our partners on the ground in improving on those issues.
Thank you so much, Althea. My name is Latoya. Thomas today. Alethea. Oh, I'm sorry. You know who I was
all right.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Alethea. My name is Latoya Thomas today. But I want to ask you a question. You said you guys are in have your foot in 25 of our states. Do a lot of the states have the same similar issues, or are they a lot vastly different?
I think it's more like both and. So what we've seen, even in 2023, we saw 62 bills come from various state legislatures to suppress the vote.
Okay.
We've seen between 2023 and this current legislative session attacks on queer and transgender communities, as well as Tennessee. We saw a ban on drag shows and exposure to young people. There were obviously the abortion issue is something that affects all 50 states. And so then there are other issues. We deal with environmental justice. We did a tour in Louisiana along Cancer Alley, where these companies and these manufacturing buildings have created a very adversarial relationship with the communities that are there, that those folks have had an increase in cancer diagnoses, as well as asthma and other environmentally caused illnesses within the community. People deal with landfills being built near African American communities. We deal with water crises, housing crises. So there are a myriad of issues that our partners are working on locally, but we have seen some similar trends on a statewide level as well, that there are similar issues and attacks that are going on.
Okay. And one more question. Because I as been doing elections for years here, I've seen over the last, I'd say about 20 years, I see a drop in the vote in the Black community. And I'm kind of seeing that around the country, where it's like needles in a haystack to get people to really come out and vote. Do you have some advice for our viewers to let them know why Black vote matter is so important?
I'll certainly give you an example. In Tennessee, we've seen that this current state legislation has come up with, although the people have asked for more legislation about gun safety and public safety, particularly in our schools, they've instead decided to target Tennessee State University. A vote took place on yesterday to vacate the 10 trustees of Tennessee State University, and the governor has now appointed an additional 10 people. There was an audit that took place, and what they found out was there was $4,000 that wasn't accounted for out of the millions that are spent at the school. So why was the response to get rid of the Board of Trustees? The students, we supported the work of the students at Tennessee State University, the student government, as well as the NAACP Tennessee State University chapter, along with TSU alumni. And yet, although we talked about the problem, we organized about the problem, the state legislature was not amenable to what the wishes were of the current students and supporting TSU. And another audit found that TSU has been underfunded by $2.1 billion. So they utilized what finances they had to be able to support the school. And yet that has not been addressed. So yes, there are particular, why is it important for people to vote? Not only to be reactionary to what's going on, but be prepared when you vote, not just for the federal election, the presidential election, when you vote on the state level, as you've seen in Wisconsin with the election on the Supreme Court about the reproductive rights. When you are able to speak out, be active, and vote your voice, you're able to bring on people that are supportive to your issues and will be able to not come up with frivolous bills, but rather come up with substantive bills that is going to help improve your life. You see, those that we elect in positions affect your life directly, affect how much you pay for utility bills, affect how much taxes that you have to pay, affect how when you bail and bail funds, dealing with the judicial system and how our people are treated, who represents us as those people that you elect, and then who are your jury of your peers. All those things are important. All politics rules our lives. Let's have a say on what takes place in politics. You do that by not only going to vote, but showing up at the meetings and holding those people accountable for who you voted for.
What is your website if they want to know more information about you and your organization?
Certainly. You can find us at www.blackvotersmatterfund.org. You can also find us on Facebook under Black Voters Matter Fund, X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as IG. And if you want to stay in contact with us, we invite you to text the number 25225 with the message "We Matter." So text "We," WEMATTER, to the number 25225.
And then if there is probably a donation page on there, you fund across the country trying to get this work out. So we just want to make sure that we put that out there too, because sometimes dollars matter as well to help out an organization.
Most definitely.
Thank you so much. And we will be having you back. We're going to try to, on April 2nd, we have an election, local and county, and then we have our presidential primary. Hopefully we can get people out to vote. We're going to keep pushing it and doing everything we can.
Catch Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio, every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. as we focus on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org. Wisconsin Voices 3 pillars: protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, building community.
I'm the very straightforward, cautious person in this group.
Because all what she says, she just talking on the radio.
I don't know what
Good polished.
I'm very polished.
Yeah, sure.
Psychiatric
Psychiatric polished.
And you do not want to do that because nobody here is a professional.
I know I'm
not a medical profession to be.
Want to know?
She right. She like, oh,
a therapist or a psychiatrist call in and give us
you should not be
third degree. Don't call in. Please playing.
Please, we
just joking with each other.
So, as we go into election and on Tuesday, April 2nd, we got 2 days left to the 30th for early voting. And I want to make sure we give those times of what's open today, what's open tomorrow, because I believe tomorrow is the last day, which is the 30th. So today, the let's see, Capitol Drive Voting Center, Zablocki Library, and Zeidler, Municipal Building are open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. today. And Good Hope Library, Tippecanoe Library, and Washington Park Library are open from 12 to 5 today. Now, tomorrow is the last day of voting, and Zeidler Municipal Building, Capitol Drive Voting Center, and Zablocki Library are open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Good Hope Library, Tippecanoe Library, and Washington Park Library are open from 10 to 2. Remember, these are the last 2 days you can early vote, but remember, you can register to vote and vote on election day. If you, I think, is Michelle doing Election Central up in here?
That's usually what we do around here.
Yeah, because that get good over the course of the day. People coming in. It's a long day, but you get a lot of information.
Used to be very festive. We used to just, yeah.
We're gonna make it festive this time. We have to. We have to. Why are you shaking your head? They can't see that. Because we're gonna be so excited that our voting, we're gonna, check the numbers, check how many people are going out there, and it's gonna be such a record-breaking event that we are gonna be excited about it. I'm putting it into existence.
That's what made that. I was thoroughly disappointed last election cycle with just
The primary.
with just the energy around the town. I mean, I went later in the day and I was like number 30 something.
I told y'all.
Like, what? I used to go more to being, 60 something. It was like, oh God.
Yeah.
The energy wasn't there.
Yeah, that's a lot for primaries, though. It is.
Well, I've been down here about 11 years, so it's been way better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We have a caller.
Yeah.
Let's see what the caller got to say.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Christian.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Ramadan Mubarak. And thank you for taking my call.
What you got to tell us? What do you have to inform us on? Please enlighten us.
So I would like to say that to begin with, since you are all addressing the mental state amongst one another, and it is being broadcast over the airwaves, it made me think about what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in regards to that effect. That every time you sign your last name is proof positive that you are out of your mind. But he's not saying that to say that you are totally deranged. He's saying that to say this, because the name that we wear or have worn has been imposed upon us, and we don't have our rightful names, we don't wear the name of our God, Allah, because we are original people, we are native, indigenous persons, the first, the beginning, the end, the alpha, the omega, and all points in between. Well, we're all of that. But primarily what I wanted to say, when you all were disparaging one another, I was a little bit taken aback, and I thought that was unbecoming with regard to decorum, because if we are to be beacons of light and we are in a position of impact, which you all are, because you have power with regard to the sound that you are producing over the airwaves, and they are actually impacting people.
So
And what you
I want to
present-
go ahead, finish your thought.
and what you all are presenting amongst one another, if you are coming off as disrespectful to one another, it will carry over, and then you will lose credibility because the people will hear that you are being disrespectful to one another.
So,
And
Harry,
that is not enlightenment.
So, number one, we're not being disrespectful. We are a tight group. We like to clown. We like to have fun. We have things that we are in the streets, doing work a
Yes,
lot,
ma'am.
and
I know that's true.
it's so to even have you say that we were being disrespectful. These are my
Here
cohorts.
it is.
Well, I'm just letting. So you told us what you're in you inferred on. I just wanted to say we work hard. We love
Known
each other.
for years.
But that's still too much. My point was because I'm the initiator. So if you heard the beginning, some people tune in when they tune in and don't hear it was a general statement. A general statement. I said, show me somebody that got a little problem, and I'll show you somebody that's messed up. And that's how the joking kind of started. And Tamika was like, I'm cool. I was like, no,
I agree with both of y'all. I totally agree with what she was saying. We wasn't disrespecting each other.
I know my caller, when you tune in at a certain point, you hear what you hear from that point. You didn't catch the preamble or whatever led up to it, then you can be out of context.
So if I just want to say, if anybody thought we were being disrespectful, we were not. We are. I'm not apologizing for our relationship and what we do. These people ride
all morning,
right, and we ride or die with each other. Brian and I worked 12 to 15-hour days. We're exhausted, but we were out there doing the work of Wisconsin Voices in the community. Latoya was out there, and our crew was out there cold yesterday.
2 days in a row.
Yeah, a couple days in a row. So what we do, we have to laugh because there is so much trauma doing this work and it can be triggering. So we have to laugh. We have to clown. We have to make sure that we keep our energy up.
Yeah.
Because how are we going to try to assist others? Because I don't like the word help others. We assist others in getting the information and the message that they need if we're down.
Yeah. We get a lot of phone calls, while you make it, 80% of the world happy. It's a 5 or 10% that may be like, y'all need to stop laughing so much in the morning. Hold on, man. We just got to talk about 9 murders, the murder rate going up, the politics, and
you gotta have a balance.
So you giggle a minute, but some folks, hey, like I said, show me somebody that ain't, and I'll show you somebody.
Like I said, you gotta have a balance there. We've been doing been doing this work for a long time, and the work that we do is not so very happy. Like when you hear all these people say, "I'm passionate about," we're not passionate about what we do. We have to do it because it's literally a fight for our rights in our lives. So we have to have a balance of where we do feel good about ourselves sometimes, because every day you feel like a roller coaster. You find something good happen, then something bad that we gotta go put a fight on for, or give information out, or inform people.
We move 1 inch and then we're back 2-3 feet. Well, here's the thing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna continue our series on interviewing candidates on the other side of this break. This is Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
The 3 pillars of Wisconsin Voices are protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, and building community. Learn more about Wisconsin Voices and our partners at wisconsinvoices.org. Stay up to date on our community events page and get involved by visiting our donation page.
Because it was a series since February of interviewing candidates. We have 2 more. One will be on Monday, and this is our second judicial candidate. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rochelle Johnson Bitts. Do you want me to go into? Oh, you? Sure. Okay. My name is Rochelle Johnson Bitts. I'm running for Milwaukee Circuit Court Judge, Branch 43. Born and raised here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Was a Chapter 220 kid, so went to Whitefish Bay School District. Then went to North Carolina A&T, so my HBCU pride. Then, then I came back to UW for law school. I've been practicing about almost 14 years here in Milwaukee. I've been practicing criminal, family, civil, workers' comp, contracts, you name it, pretty much a lot of different areas. And currently I'm the managing attorney at Milwaukee Public Schools. I'm the managing attorney over procurement and risk management, where I do general liability, workers' comp, risk assessment, and contracts. But I also was a supervising attorney at Legal Aid Society, where I represent the legal best interests of minor children. And then I also worked at Boys and Girls Club as their director of compliance. And then I was in private practice where I worked with Erlene Laster, Tarina Franklin, Hazel Washington, and a lot of our known wonderful attorneys here in Milwaukee, where I was able to do a lot of different areas of law.
One particular thing stuck in my head because I'm a 220 Shorewood, Whitefish Bay Shorewood.
Yeah, that's stuck with me too.
Yeah, but he Nicolay.
I'm Nicolay say yeah.
No. Yeah, I mean, if NPS come in here and they be, NPS him.
Everybody say they school.
Yeah.
We don't get much love.
We don't get love. Our Chapter 2, we don't do the same thing.
Shout out to our Chapter 220 people across Milwaukee.
We had to struggle. We had to get bust.
Take the bus,
Bust in and bust out.
All the way down Capitol at like 6:30 in the morning. Yes, I remember those.
Taking the seats.
Taking all the seats in the back.
Yeah,
or the front. We were taking up the whole
They
bus.
pulled up right in front of the house for us.
So you're a product of Milwaukee.
I am a product of Milwaukee.
First of all, I got to ask you the question I ask every candidate, and that is, what does a circuit court judge do?
Well, we're guided by the state statutes of 757. So if you go to those statutes, it lists a number of different areas in which judges have to abide by. But they do subpoenas. They require witnesses to come to court. They make decisions. Circuit court judges deal with issues of family court, your criminal court, that's your criminal felony, criminal misdemeanors, probate, evictions when they escalate up from small claims. They deal with juvenile court, which is a children's court, termination of parental rights. So there's a lot of different areas on the circuit court level, but the guiding statutes that guide us, plus this, obviously we have code of conduct that we have to comply with too, and that's your SCR 60 that kind of guides judges what they have to do in their code of conduct. But as it relates to what their rules and powers are, they're outlined in the statute of 757.
It is an imperative that we know who our judges are, and who we have. The whole series this last couple of months has been get to know who your elected officials are. Some of the judges have been on for decades, and we don't even know who they are, but we elect them every year.
Yep.
A lot of them don't even have an opponent or a primary. We don't hold them accountable one way or the other. How they so I guess these elections are very important. What made you want to run for judge?
I love that question. Thank you for asking that. One of the reasons, there was a couple of reasons why I ran. One is that I practiced in Milwaukee County for many years. I've seen some things that judges are doing well, but I've seen a lot of things that judges can improve on. Unfortunately, a lot of times judges they're sitting for so long and or just being jaded by the process, sometimes become detached. And so as a person from the side of a litigator and or of a family member who have had family go through the courts process, myself going through a divorce, you want a judge who understands the issues of our community. And that means the whole entire community, right? Not just the ones that look like them, sound like them, and relate to them. You want to be able to know that when you come into court, you're having those equal opportunities to be able to explain yourself that anyone else would have. So that was one of the reasons is that I wanted to bring that position to the court when running. The second reason why I was running is because I believe we need more judges who are experienced in different areas of law. not just coming from criminal background or just civil background, but these different areas. Why that's important is that our judges in Milwaukee do rotate every 4 years, at least majority of them do. So when they rotate, they go into these different areas of law. And if you're a litigator or a pro se person, you want to know that the judge that you're before knows these different areas of law, right? You want to know that that learning curve isn't new to them. They're coming in having some experience with that kind of client, the people that come before them, whether it be in family court, civil court, all these different people are dealing with different issues. And the second thing is when you're you have different areas of law that you know, then you understand that process and what people are dealing with. So when judges are more equipped to take different cases, work with different clientele, that's very important. And so those are the things that I consider when I was running is what can I bring to improve the bench? What can I bring to help bridge the gaps of equity? What can I bring to make the bench more relatable so that people trust the process more? If it's more transparent, if judges are more forward facing, if they're coming out and talking to the public, because like you said, you come out here and talk to different judges and you don't know who they are, that's a problem. You should at least have their understanding a little bit of who they are, especially if you've engaged that much.
Well, we got a caller. Let's see. Caller, go ahead. Oh, 1 second. We're having technical difficulties. Caller, go ahead.
Am I coming through now?
You're coming through.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, and a wondrous and blessed Good Friday to all. Resurrection Sunday is upon us. Madame Mubarak, Brother Christopher, and everyone else serving or enduring the Ramadan. Good morning. Tyrone W. speaking. Good morning, Milwaukee.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, dear. Show host, Miss LaToya, and Judge. Well, first of all, just let me say, what I'm hearing is wonderful. I would still love to have some of your literature. Haven't met you. I'd love to meet you and see you face to face. Okay. Read more about what so I'm looking forward to your literature. You kind of like on the 11th hour here, but it's good that you did better, something better than that, that you're here. So wonderful. But where are you on the ballot? That's statewide, right? That's not just in a region.
It's countywide. So it's everybody who lives in Milwaukee County, and it's branch 43.
Okay. I'll be looking for that. The way they got these ballots chopped up sometime there.
And it's the first name for branch 43. So circle that first little bubble.
Okay.
Rochelle Johnson Bent.
Yes. Okay. I'll be looking forward. I just wanted to, say, well, wonderful. You sound good there. I guess with these type of things, I've always told people, and I know it's been cold out. It's, the sunshine is pretty, but you gotta do it in layers there because that you get out there around lunchtime there. It's a little bit better than it is, from sun up, but you'll be sweating there. So you got to kind of do it in layers there to where you're not a sweaty mess there. But yeah, I understand it. But, the candidates and everyone really does need to come out so we can meet you and see you, not only at the meetings, but, let us show you the concrete that's cracked and the different things that are wrong with the, so yeah, not the stuff all you have to show there, because I know you're up against the clock anyway, but, just need to get out a little bit earlier there so that people can meet you. But, wonderful campaign there. And we'll see what happens. But just like with the comptroller there, I think that the young man, whoever loses between the two, I think the one should offer the other one a job there. Whoever was it, if it's Harper or Mr. Christensen, don't run away. Offer the other one a job then, so he can help you out then. So yeah, we need to do things like that instead of I won the election. Well, come on in. Let me pull you in then, and you can work with. Be blessed. Love you. Thank you very much then.
Thank you. Well, one, I want to correct you that the comptrollers, there are two, the people you named were two separate, they're not running for the same seat. There is the comptroller who is running for the Milwaukee County comptroller, which is Michael Harper and Liz Sumner. And then there's the comptroller for Milwaukee, which are the city of Milwaukee, which is Greg Grassi and Bill Christensen. So two different things. That's why we have to, make sure that we don't confuse people, because they might be going on trying to see where they are. You have do you have any events that people can go to this weekend and tell us about your website?
Yeah, so people can go to my website. It's RochelleForJudgeMKE.com. And that's for like the number. So ROCHELLE for the numerical number 4 JudgeMKE.com. They can also find me on Facebook under Rochelle for Judge. That shows a lot of events that I have been to and meet and greets that I have hosted, as well as we are doing some canvassing, but the exact time is still being worked out. We did do canvassing this past weekend. We constantly I go to various different events. So I do agree that candidates need to be out, and I have been.
So the one thing also we want to stress is the judge has nothing to do with the potholes and nothing to do with the construction, nothing to do with the taxes. They're basically there to interpret the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin and ordinance in basically the state of, I don't think it's the ordinance because that's municipality.
Correct.
But
the
statutes. That is what they do. Interpret and then give just sentencing or just answers to questions, whatever it is. But it is
sentencing, orders, decisions as relates to legal questions that are for us, and that we have jurisdiction to actually make decisions on.
Right. So can't blame her for the speed and can't blame her for the potholes. Can't blame her for the tax increase. Can't blame those people for that.
Budget of NPS. Nope. No. Deal with the judge.
We only got a couple more minutes. What would you say to the people at, your last words on Be a Voice Wisconsin with Wisconsin Voices?
So I always tell people there's the 3 main reasons why you should vote for me. The number 1 reason is I'm an experienced litigator. You want judges who know what they're doing, know how to interpret the law, they know how to apply the law, they know the different areas of law, and they actually have been through the process and know the process. The second reason why people should vote for me is that I'm very truly involved in making sure we're bridging gaps of equities. I've done it as a litigator, whether bringing the voices of the children to the court, whether making sure the courts are more culturally sensitive, whether it be making sure people understand and articulated the process to them, making sure they understand what's going on. They understand what document they're signing, making sure they understand what the judge is saying. So you have to make sure that people feel part of the process so they can be part of the process. And the third reason why I tell people that they should vote for me is that I'm going to bring that voice of community engagement and relatability. Again, judges need to be more forward facing. What I do now is the same things I would do when I'm as a judge and things I have done. I work within the community. I work with the state bar. I work with organizations within the state bar. I work with different organizations and people because I want to be able to understand, utilize those resources, bring those to the court so that people really feel like we're trying to improve things, right? If you're giving people the resources to be better and do better, then they're not as likely to keep coming back and forth into your court. If you're hitting the issues of why they're committing crimes, if you're hitting the issues of why their family keeps coming back into court, you can do that. So again, please go to vote on April 2nd. If not, vote early before March 30th for Rochelle Johnson Bentz. That's branch 43 for circuit court. This is county-wide race. Again, you can go to my website, RochelleForJudgeMKE.com.
And opinions expressed on this show do not reflect that of the staff and management of WNOV and W293 CX 106.5 FM Courier Communications Milwaukee, but are the sole comments of the host and guest of this particular show.
The views and opinions expressed in this program do not reflect those of Wisconsin Voices. The views and opinions expressed by hosts and guests are their own, and their appearance on the program do not imply any endorsement or representation by Wisconsin Voices. Thank you for listening to Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Be a voice.
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 Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org
and learn more on how to be a voice with Wisconsin Voice.